If you ever feel like native English speakers are, constantly annoyed at you or mad or just trying to rush you out the door, they probably aren't. They are literally just communicating as efficiently as possible.
Welcome back to English Unfiltered. I'm Jamie.
And I'm Alex. Today we are jumping right into a deep dive on why everyday English feels so aggressive and honestly so emotionally intense to learners.
Right. Even when the person talking to you is like just sitting there feeling completely calm, it is the ultimate social disconnect.
Oh, absolutely. You walk away feeling totally bruised and the other person just thinks they had a normal Thursday chat.
Exactly. Because in so many languages, politeness is just baked right into the grammar. You naturally soften your communication.
Right. You use emotional context. You pad the sentence with relational markers so nobody loses face.
Yeah, linguists call that a high context culture. You rely on the unspoken relationship just as much as the words. But English operates strictly on a low context system.
Meaning it prioritizes clarity and speed over, like, emotional softening. But hold on. English speakers still use please and thank you.
Sure, but, the rule book itself prioritizes the transaction. The language just doesn't require you to build a relationship before asking a question. Think about the phrase, "What do you want?"
Oh, man. Yeah, in a lot of cultures, saying that is basically like an invitation to a street fight.
You are literally declaring war. But to a native English speaker, 90% of the time, the structure of that phrase just means, I am asking you a direct question to get a direct answer.
Wait, so it is basically like a fast food drive-thru. The native speakers work in the window and they just want to get the order done fast.
That is a perfect analogy.
But the learner is pulling up expecting, a warm sit-down dining experience with a waiter asking about their day.
Right, and the grammar itself acts exactly like that drive-through window. If the cashier asks, what else? They aren't being rude.
They are just, keeping the line moving.
Exactly. The physical structure of the transaction demands brevity. In English, dropping the emotional padding to get straight to the point is actually considered respecting the other person's time.
So efficiency is the politeness. But because of that drive-through structure, listeners experience this massive psychological clash, right?
Yeah, it creates this illusion of rejection. Other cultures naturally mix warmth directly into the vocabulary, but English explicitly separates the emotion from the transaction.
Wait, so if the emotion is literally stripped out of the vocabulary itself, how do native speakers actually signal that they are, mad? Just tone of voice.
Tone of voice, body language, facial expressions. The emotion is handled completely separately from the words.
Ah, that makes so much sense. So learners are unconsciously translating the emotional tone of their native language directly into English.
Yes, that is the exact friction. They hear anger or impatience because their brain is firing warning signals based on their own cultural rules.
Because if they used those exact brief words in their own language without the relational markers, they would be absolutely furious.
Exactly. So they assume the English speaker is furious too.
Wait, so when a learner hears outright rejection, the native speaker literally just thinks they are saving everyone time.
They honestly do. What feels like a cold brush off is often just a genuine attempt to be perfectly clear and quick.
Wow. That completely flips the script. It really shows that mastering English is so much more than just memorizing vocabulary.
Oh, absolutely. You have to decode the hidden emotional culture driving the language, or, you are going to spend your whole life thinking everyone hates you.
And nobody wants that. So the next time someone is painfully direct with you, take a breath. Ask yourself, are they actually being rude or are they just trying to be perfectly clear?
Right, just recognize that the system is built for speed, not warmth.
But that leaves us with a pretty wild thought to end on. As global business becomes even faster and more digital and just completely dominated by this low-context English framework, is English forcing other languages to become just as transactional? Are we all slowly being pushed into the drive-thru?